Furries save a San Jose woman from being assaulted. Disneyland guest removes sword in the stone, and Pornhub is being sued by Deaf Man. All on today's episode of 123 Jokes.
Welcome everybody to 123 Jokes, a competitive comedy podcast where we take three stories from the news, tell three jokes about each story, and decide who has written the funniest jokes. My name is Jeremy Martinez.
My name is Ricardo Leon.
I'm Bob Timmons.
I'm Carly Kastner.
And joining us today is the very lovely and talented
Brian Kearley. That's right. I didn't realize that I was saying he was just pointing at me. Hey guys, thanks for having me over. Guys and gal.
He's just kidding. He listens to the show every week. He knows that's what they do.
Yes, absolutely.
Brian, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And
I'm sorry, I did not mean to talk over you. I just wanted to, before I forgot, thank you guys so much for coming through. You lent me a podium for my award show, and it literally saved my life. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that.
Well, that's what we were going to get into, is how we helped you out of a tough situation. And we're great, and everybody can count on us.
It literally saved your life?
It literally saved my life. Yeah, I was dying of anxiety, and then I found a podium the day before the show.
I thought
Give this man a podium
there was
stat.
an active shooter, and you hid behind the podium, which we have bulletproofed because it's very common that people hate us. And
That's a great idea. Bulletproof the podium.
The podium doubles as a safe room.
We all four can fit in the podium.
Yeah, it's like the TARDIS of podiums. I like that.
Very nice.
It's weird how the hecklers just immediately escalated from rotten fruit and vegetables to just shooting at us. But I think we've dealt with it. Brian, thank you for being on the show. We are also a man down. Our resident judge, Aaron Kraft, couldn't be here today. So Carly is going to judge in his place. She's
kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
I don't like being the judge. And I'll tell you why. There's two reasons.
Because you're a woman. Judges should not be women.
Have you met Judge Judy?
Judge Judy, she's a famous judge.
That's true.
She's a famous judge.
That's true.
I came across it must like a thread or something. There was a picture of Judge Judy, but it talking about how big her backside was. Like she's packing much back. And I was very pleasantly surprised by this.
Oh, it is big. It's large.
It looks to be from the photos from the many photos I've seen.
Would you be talking about Judge Judy's butt if she was a man?
If it was especially big, yes. But
I hear Judge Joe Brown does have a pretty big badonkadonk.
Now, he got some big old titties, but I haven't seen his man.
Well, like I was saying, there's two reasons why I hate being the judge. Number one is because there's a lot of pressure. I don't want to pick the wrong joke, I really want to give it to the real winner, but that brings me to my, that's a fat ass.
Dude, Judge Judy.
Show it to the camera.
Wow.
That's a big booty. That's a big booty.
I was not expecting that.
The second reason is because it's really hard for me to pay attention to all your jokes sometimes, and I miss things, so...
Yeah, do your best.
I mean,
okay.
that hasn't stopped Aaron in the past.
It's also hard for all of us to pay attention to each other's jokes. And the listeners, probably. I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron, I can't necessarily, no pun intended, do you justice, but I'll try.
Do you justice?
Bob wants to do that justice.
Good justice.
I want a fair and balanced system so bad, I'm willing to fuck it. All right, well, I think we're ready to get into round one.
Let's do it. Round one. A group of furries is being credited with saving a San Jose woman who is being assaulted. The incident occurred the same weekend as FurCon, San Jose's convention for people who like to dress in furry animal costumes. One of the convention's attendees, who wasn't in costume, was with a group of furry friends when he heard a commotion from a vehicle parked on the side of the street. It was pretty intense, says 26-year-old Steven Rodriguez. We saw the passenger just wailing on her. Just a full-on punch. Bop, bop, bop. 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 Bop, bop. Bop.
More full on.
You want me to loop that in the video and just like for about 10 minutes?
Yeah, make that a TikTok. So Rodriguez and another man pulled the assailant out of the vehicle, only for the man to attack them. Rodriguez explains, that's when the furries took action. A pink dinosaur, a tiger, a cat, and a platform shoe-wearing cowboy grabbed the man, threw him to the ground, and sat on him until police arrived, according to the incident report.
How much back did they have to say that?
All right, Ricky, you want to start
One
us
was
off?
in a Judge Judy costume, so they really got him.
Oh, wow. Do you think there's a furry overweight enough to detain a man by sitting on them?
Wow.
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 Wow. Wow. Wow.
Rick,
Wow.
you're
Two
kind
mice get into a bucket.
of you're being kind of testy today. Controversial.
Who's next?
How does
Me?
this go? Does it go round robin?
Yeah,
We'll go to Jeremy. We'll go to
Jeremy.
Jeremy next.
One furry said it was just a horrible thing to see, or well, kind of see through the mesh neck of a pink dinosaur.
I get the tiger. I get the cat. But a platform shoes wearing cowboy. Okay, I guess I don't understand furries as well as I thought I did. Brian.
I think the real victim of this story is author Laurel Lee, who has to be the one to put "Furries Save the Day" in San Jose on the internet. Bonus points for the rhyme.
I haven't seen this kind of violence from a furry since Goofy and Baloo roughed me up outside of a Tomorrowland strip club. What was that place called again? Oh, yeah, the ladies' dressing room.
All right.
Okay. After the melee, he's charged with assault, but will likely plead down to cruelty to animals.
All right. I hope these furries get to be in the sequel to the Cats movie. And I wish that violent guy was in the first Cats movie so he could start slugging away.
Oh, not Tay-Tay.
I have a movie themed joke for you too.
Yeah,
I
can't
think
wait.
this is actually the origin story of the Furriest Four, a group of cringy vigilantes that help people who would rather be left alone.
Everything was going great until the fuzz got there.
Son of a bitch.
That's a
I
good
like
one.
it.
I like that one.
I always
good.
hate when I like your jokes, Rick.
All right, I just had two jokes this time. Unprepared.
What,
You know, that's
first thing that comes to your mind.
I'll comment on it during my judgment, but it's not going to work well for you, Jeremy.
I was just thinking of more franchises from what Brian was talking about, like, and then they start like street racing. They're like the Fast and the Furriest.
Now, did you
Love
say franchise?
Ooh,
That's what I was thinking.
That's what
too,
I
yeah.
in hindsight, I did.
I just don't bring it up. Everybody's going to make fun of you for telling a stupid joke.
I'm happy this guy was taken down, and doubly happy he was taken down by a grown man who wears a pink dinosaur costume for non-sexual reasons. Can really set a guy straight.
Is anybody else shocked that the person wailing on this woman was not also a furry? All right.
I don't know about
a whale.
All right, that'll do it for the joke. Oh, calm down, everyone. That'll do it for the jokes in round one. We're going to go to our guest judge, Carly Kastner, see what she thinks.
All right. So I had narrowed it down to 3 different jokes. We had Brian's joke about the Furriest Four. Very cute.
Thank you.
I just imagine it's a kid's film, actually. We had Rick with the fuzz got there.
That's a good
And
one.
Jeremy, you were in it with the cruelty to animals, but I got to DQ you for not having a third joke.
Oh no!
I hate to do it to you,
man.
man, but
Is that a real thing?
Judge's
is for me.
discretion, you know.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I feel like if you spend all your time writing one good joke, it's an advantage. You can't have the advantage. I got to DQ you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you got to forgive him. He was, and this is true, he was helping his mom make tamales,
I was, yeah.
so he could not write the jokes.
So it's not the case that I spent all my time on one good joke. It's the case that I spent no time on 2 okay jokes and not a third joke.
Yeah, but couldn't your mom help you write jokes if you were helping her make tamales? Sounds like it's not an equal relationship.
It never has been. Yeah, has it?
I always help with the tamales. You never help with my comedy.
All right. So that brings us to a very close race right now between Brian and Rick. I really want to give it to Brian because he's such a nice guy. But
Hey, I'm a nice guy.
I gotta give it to Rick. A cute little pun. The fuzz got there.
Yeah.
It's just a slight win.
Don't you you really don't want to, right?
I do.
You don't want to give him
Like the-
props.
It's just a win just by like a dinosaur hair. Like, just that much.
Dinosaurs don't have hair. You could have picked any other animal that was mentioned in this story.
This one has hair.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Absolutely.
he's a furry.
Yeah.
Maybe he's made out of plastic and there's actually no fur on him.
That's the plasticky. That's a plasty.
A plasty? You guys know
That's what you wear on your nipples.
I was friends with some Disneyland Disney characters when I worked at Disney
I know,
World.
you
Why
won't
is
shut
it
up.
Yeah, why are you quoting Friends? What's
Because
happening?
you're not supposed to. It's like part of you don't want to ruin the magic for people. So I was friends with the characters.
Do you mean you had sex with them?
I know that's what it sounds like. No.
Well, especially because you keep
I mean,
friends
because the
with.
thing is, I was inside of them,
Okay.
but not in a sexual way,
I was friends with them.
not with benefits. Like no benefits. I didn't get health insurance.
They didn't help you with your jokes.
Right.
Do you guys wonder what that cowboy, the platform shoe wearing cowboy was doing there? Like, talk about being out of place. Huh?
Yeah, maybe he's an actual cow.
Oh,
Like a cowboy. A cow dressed as a cowboy.
Could be.
Wow.
I think Bob kind of touched on that in his joke about what's the cowboy like. Yeah.
It's just
guess
puzzling
it's not
because
what I thought,
you
yeah.
think you've wrapped your head around the whole furry thing, and then they throw a real curveball at you.
Yeah, furries
So-
and their wrangler saved the day. What are we doing here?
Oh, you know that furry who's dressed up as an astronaut.
Bob's like, I thought I understood all the rules and regulations of furrydom. And then this.
Furrydom.
God damn
You just
it.
got to say it, Rick.
Let freedom ring. Are you guys ready for round 2?
I think so.
Let's hit it. Speaking of Disney, we always have Disney stories, I feel like. We have so many Disney.
Apologies to Disney.
Yeah, don't sue us. Okay,
Put our show on Disney Plus.
we are really in brand, guys. Brawny Disneyland guest removes park's sword in the stone. Using sheer brute force, a Disneyland guest successfully removed Excalibur, the sword in the stone, from its anvil in front of King Arthur's carousel. It was first reported that the sword was removed as a part of a planned refurbishment, but then a guest stepped up to share what really happened. And then this article was really weirdly written. I'm sure this is a Twitter post, but it doesn't say who's saying this. So this is just a guest. The sword is not removed for refurbishment. My friend Sam broke it last week when we went to Disneyland. He literally ripped it out. The staff said it was really old, and that's why he was able to do so. It was his first time at Disney, and he's a pretty buff dude. I told him if he pulled it out, he'd win a prize. And he just used brute force, I guess, LOL. It was broken and jagged. The staff said they taped it off so no one would stick their fingers in and cut it on the broken piece left inside. Unfortunately, the poor fellow didn't become king, as legend dictates. And a brand new sword has already been placed in its freshly polished anvil in its central Fantasyland spot.
You know what always bothered me about that thing is it's not in a stone. It's in an anvil. And Excalibur wasn't the sword that King Arthur pulled from the stone.
What was it?
Excalibur is the sword that the Lady in the Lake gave him later on when he was king.
So you're frustrated with Disney's historically inaccurate theme park.
Wait.
Because Frontierland, there wasn't really ice cream shops and lightsabers in Frontierland in the Old West.
So there was not a family that built a giant tree house?
I'm sure there was.
Did Mulan really fight in the Japanese war?
Japanese.
Mulan was Chinese.
Yeah.
Whatever. Pull those eyes back. They all look the same.
All right.
I want to say last night when we were all together, I asked Robert kind of an ignorant question, I suppose, but I asked him.
Is there any other kind you asked?
I asked him what race do people generally think he is without knowing what race he is.
Because she was trying to find out what race I am.
No, I know what race you are. You're just Japanese.
Yeah.
Man, that really sounds offensive, doesn't it?
You are definitely Korean.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Filipino.
Oh,
Hawaiian.
tough break.
Hawaiian?
Oh,
White as fuck.
Polynesian.
yeah, half Korean, half white as fuck. Yeah. But yeah, pretty much that. So, all right, Jeremy, let's get things going.
All right, here we go. So Sam the buff guy not only removed the sword, he lifted Thor's hammer, slam dunked on the Matterhorn basketball court, and pissed in Snow White's wishing well. All hail King Sam!
He's badass. Thou hast freed the sword from its resting place, and thus may reap the reward spoken of in legend. A coupon for a free corn dog with the purchase of a large drink.
Let's see. There are three, in a different article, there are three photos of the newly restored Excalibur, but not a single picture of Sam surrounded by Asian tourists that think he's king.
Some of those Japa Chinese people.
Or maybe Filipino.
No, they're Hawaiian. Polynesian.
The sword could not have been pulled out of the stone without the mentorship of Merlin. As the old wizard would say, nobody gets results by being a pussy. Give me 10 more.
This guy works magic.
In other Disneyland failure news, one man finds Mr. Toad's Wild Ride only slightly amusing.
The staff said that Sam was able to pull the sword out because it was really old. For a place that promotes happiness, they made sure to let everyone know that this guy ain't shit.
I do like that one. I think the prize that Sam's buddy mentioned was letting Sam plunge Excalibur into his anvil.
Whoa! Winner!
Imagine that. Jeremy having sex is like, whoa, winner. Ding, 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 ding.
Even more difficult is trying to pull the sword from Captain Hook's pants. You keep pulling, and all you end up with at the end is a face full of pixie bust.
Pixie
Ew.
bust. Oh, ew.
Into the microphone, Carl.
Sorry, I can't type and hold the mic at the same time, and I opted out of the mic stand today.
All right.
Yeah, that'll do it for the...
Is that two?
No,
No,
I'm sorry.
I've only heard two jokes from... Do you only have two
He
jokes?
only has two again.
I,
DQ'd. Why are you even playing,
But I do
Jeremy?
have a dozen tamales.
Where are they?
You're on video now, Jeremy. You got to actually produce the tamale.
they're in the car.
And Jeremy's usually the king of prop comedy.
That's what I usually go by. Yeah.
All right, third joke.
It's because I pulled a prop sword out of a prop stone. Now I'm the king of prop comedy.
If you pull the sword from the stone, you will become king. Boom, done. Oh, not like that.
Let's see.
That was the exact reaction I think it deserves. Let's see.
I've got two jokes left, both that are equally as bad.
Ooh, can I have one?
Do you want one?
Oh,
Sure.
yeah, okay.
Can I give one to him? I think I'm going to do the bottom one, so do the second one that starts with
Steal
Disney.
his joke. Steal his joke.
Disney refusing to acknowledge his feat is their way of fighting toxic masculinity.
I'm glad
Thank
you
you.
did it instead of me.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Carly, that is Jeremy's joke. Okay.
I got it down. I removed the DQ. But Jeremy, it's still not looking good for you.
Okay. There are a lot of comments on Sam's physique. I want to know more about Sam. How does he feel about Brexit? Does he believe that women can too be knights? These are important things for our new king to talk about.
All right.
That's my vote.
Oh, you got one more joke?
Yeah, I got one more.
All right. Sorry, Ricky.
Man, we want to get this round over with.
This was a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer attempting to pull the spark plug from the engine block over at Cars Land. That way I can be czar of the cars.
Oh, boy. Well, I think we know who's going to get this round, but Carly, make it official.
Well, I just want to say there was a few jokes in contention this round. One of them was actually yours, Bob. When you said this guy ain't shit.
I did like that.
Yeah.
He ain't shit. He ain't shit. And then
Don't speak that way about your king.
And then
Yo, King, you ain't shit.
you know, as much as I hate to admit it, Ricky's Captain Hook busted all over your face. It made me giggle. I mean, it made me groan, but I groaned and giggled.
You
whatever.
couldn't have looked more disgusted after that, but you
I was
enjoyed it.
disgusted, and then I thought about it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's cute. It's fun. It's fun. It made me think." Okay, and then, but I gotta give it to Brian because he had two solid jokes. I liked your Asian tourist one, and then your last one about
Yeah.
I gotta.
And he even gave Jeremy a joke.
Oh, I forgot Jeremy even played this last round.
Oh, Jeremy.
I think he sabotaged me.
Yeah, that's why you didn't get
Here,
the vote.
Jeremy, you can have this joke. Poop, poop, fart, fart. What?
Hey there.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Jeremy, do you have 2 jokes or 3 jokes for the final round?
I do.
Great.
All right, so Jeremy's in this.
Nice.
It's anyone's game
Okay.
right now.
All
so,
right.
so right now we have 1 point for Rick, 1 point for Brian. If one of you scores, that's a tie.
True.
If not, we have a winner. So
Also true.
hopefully one of you comes through because I don't want to deal with a tie.
Now, you could also, it's judge's discretion. If you wanted to award 3, 5, 10, 100 points in the last round, you're free to do so.
All right, that will be good to know. Someone's getting 100 points in this last round.
Wow. Do you guys have like a point redemption system?
You know what? It's under consideration.
Or you can like redeem points for like, I don't know,
Like
like
a
a
minute-
headband or something.
Yeah, like do you have merch? Like if you get 3 points, you get a free sticker.
Like
We
a
should.
miniature furry. Yeah. Just handing those out.
I have cat trophies. Is that close enough?
It's close enough, yeah.
We'll have our own awards show, and you can provide the podium this time.
Yeah. It'll be less bulletproof than yours.
All right. You guys ready to see who takes it in round 3?
Yes.
Round 3. Pornhub sued because they make it hard for deaf to enjoy.
Because they make it hard.
I know. It's such an easy joke, Jeremy. Come on.
Makes it hard, comma, deaf to enjoy.
Pornhub has shut one man out of enjoying his favorite naked vids to their full potential and violating federal law in the process. So he's filed a class action lawsuit. Oh, God. Yaroslav Suris.
There you go.
That's the name.
Good job.
That's what we're going with. Yaroslav Suris is suing the popular porn site Pornhub, claiming it's denied the deaf and hearing impaired access to its videos that others can easily enjoy. Apparently, a lack of closed captioning violates their rights under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Some of the titles Suris says he watched but was completely lost on dialogue are entitled Hot Step Aunt Babysits Disobedient Nephew, Sexy Cop Gets Witness to Talk, and Daddy 4K, Allison comes to talk about money to her boy's naughty father. These are
I'm Daddy
really
4000.
These are
Time to please you.
terrible. Like that title is way too long. They just gotta. Allison's daddy
It's
is what
porn.
that should be called.
Title gore.
What's more, Suri says he and those in similar situations would shell out dough for Pornhub's premium subscription, but calls it pointless without closed captioning. He is suing to get Pornhub to be inclusive and add closed captioning, plus damages. Damages?
That's my
What's
kind of
your
kink.
damage? We've reached out to Pornhub for comment. No word so far. Not we. But
I mean, we've reached out to Pornhub for other things.
I missed editing that part. So, all right, who's first?
I'll go first. You know, I'm not blind, but I wouldn't mind a Braille option for Pornhub.
Ew, Rick.
No, I have a joke that's coming up that's very.
Oh, I thought you were
Ooh.
just like thinking about Braille porn and getting excited.
They can be both.
Braille porn. I get him wanting to know what's going on. How are you supposed to be turned on by these people having sex if you don't know that they're related?
We get a lot of step family porn talk on this show.
Okay.
I think that's what we
Old
should.
hat, Brian.
That's what we should change the name of the show to. Step Family Porn Talk.
We'll get a lot of hits.
Step Family.
I quit the show.
Step by step.
Day by day.
Day by day. I can't wait for Pornhub to release the Braille version of their videos for the blind. I also can't wait for those bumps to release all over my face.
Okay.
What? What do you mean bump? Because bump.
Yeah, but it's gross.
But still, what?
On your face?
On my face.
Wait, on your face. Got it. Everything's good now.
All right, we got it. Deaf people deserve just as much a chance as anybody to understand that nobody watches porn for the script writing.
I do. I turn it off during the sex scenes.
What's your favorite line from a porn?
Pizza's here.
Yeah, pizza's here, or mail's here, or
Amazon.
your delivery's here.
Your package.
Your package is here, and it's one day early.
The way you like it?
Yeah, people like to get their stuff.
You love it early, don't you?
Somebody ordered next day delivery, and it's here next day. Open up, and then as soon as she opens up, I fast forward.
I already finished. If they do add captions, I hope they do it right. No auto-generated text. I don't want to see a woman desperate to sick a guy's clock and make him calm on her tips.
Do you wonder what the moans would look like as captions?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Whoa, like OOOAJK.
And there's a lot of variety of kinds of moans. You know what I mean? So it'd be like a bunch of A's and then a bunch of E's and then a bunch of I's.
They
or
would spell out the moans, or do you think they would just put
moan.
moans?
I think they just
soft
put moans.
Moaning intensifies.
Hard moans, yeah. Moaning from other room. Whoa!
And then you know how they always describe the music, like romantic music plays in back. Like what would they? Bow
They'd be
Chicka
like-
Wow Wow plays in background.
No.
Or something.
Have you
It'd be
not
like-
watched porn since the 70s?
Yeah, Futurama is on TV in the background. I've actually seen that. A lot of people leave the TV on.
Yeah.
We'll link in the description.
That's like a lot of like video game nerds stop playing video games to blow boyfriend. I've seen that a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fantasy on like 8 different levels right there.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Just a second.
Or it's like the boyfriend won't stop playing video games and she's like, ooh, come on. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
What
pot
is
for
that?
every
A lot
pan.
of copyright
What is
infringement.
that called? Was
Yeah,
that
lid for every pot.
no? But I mean,
It's called
like
Stepsister Interrupts Video Game
no,
Brother.
no, like the sexual position. Like you know how like a blowjob while someone's taking
called
a
the
dump
Space
is called a
Invader.
blumpkin. A space invader.
I
Yeah.
like the Space Invader. Is that a real thing?
Sure.
Dude, I'm claiming that. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. You should add that to the Urban
Space
Dictionary.
I feel like it should be called the Playboy.
Space Invader.
A guy's getting a blowjob during a video game, and you don't want to call that a Playboy?
How about Game
Could
Boy?
be.
The Game Boy.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
think that's what you
Better
meant.
if
than
you-
Space
How about the
Invader.
button mash?
They
That's
did the
good.
mash. They did the button mash. Mash.
I'm sorry, Brian, you have jokes.
It is my turn. Yeah, right? Let's see. Turning captions on are totally going to ruin the surprise of who's coming next.
They should also have the. Oh, I'm sorry. They should also have image previews of each video so they can alliterate. They
So
should.
good.
They should also have image previews of each video so the illiterate can see what they're getting into. It's like using the Dewey Decimal System on that site.
The Doomy Decimal System.
Oh.
Hey.
I bet a better lawsuit would be for Pornhub not automatically putting those closed caption videos on mute. Now that's a thinker. I was thinking.
Is it a thinker or was it a bad joke?
It's a bad joke.
Was it a thinker or was it a
It
stinker?
was a stinker. I think they get sued because the deaf people are watching the closed caption videos and they don't know the sound is on.
I thought about that too. Yeah, maybe
And
they're like watching
all their
porn.
neighbors and everybody knows they're watching porn,
Oh,
but they don't know
and the sound is on like 90 out of 100.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
so they should automatically mute the closed caption
Oh,
videos.
that was a thinker.
Yeah.
There will be many options for closed captions. Spanish, German, French made, interracial, big butts, whatever you need.
Choices here.
Oh, do you have multiple jokes?
Yeah, I got like 6 for this one.
Can I have one?
Yeah, you want one?
You can tell the rest of them at the end.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Yaroslav's next move is suing YouTube for not captioning ASMR videos. All right.
That's good. That was good. It's so good. It's
Ew.
real good.
Now this is
Stop.
ASMR. I beg to differ.
I believe in closed captioning for the hearing impaired on Pornhub. I also believe in the short bang bus for the differently abled.
Oh my god.
Oh, I hated that.
That's a throwback to when comedy could do whatever it wanted.
I love that one. So terrible.
And now he's putting his fingers in the microphone.
Oh, that's horrendous. Ricky came with a mission today, and it was to gross us out. Good job.
Now I think that shirt works a lot more knowing what you're going for.
Come on, Pornhub. It's not like you have to do a lot of work here. Just type in a little, oh no, I've been a bad girl, a little, I know what you can do for me, and you're done. 2 sentences, max. Could be the same video,
The
same
dead
2
people
sentences.
watching it is like, man, these scripts have gotten real boring.
Real repetitive. It's the same story every video.
All right. That'll do it for all the jokes in round 3.
Brian's got 3 more if he
Well,
would like to share them.
I can only judge 3 of your jokes.
That's fine.
Brian.
Yeah, no, that's
May,
cool.
may I propose something?
Sure.
Okay, so if Brian doesn't win, he has a chance to come back with these extra jokes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. In the instance that Brian doesn't win.
If he doesn't win. And may I remind you, I had some good jokes in this one.
Okay. All right. So I have highlighted.
I just looked at Carly's computer and it says, "Pussy, give me 10 more."
Oh, let me
That was
close
from-
out of that.
Surprisingly,
the
that was
closed caption.
from the Disneyland round. So, okay, there were 2 jokes. I didn't even write down any of Jeremy's jokes.
Poor
but,
Jeremy.
But I gotta tell you, the last one was good. The last one was cute. So you were in it. But right now it's between the captions for YouTube ASMR and the like French, German, Spanish, French made. Yeah, like that one.
Okay.
And this wasn't like a part of the scheme to get more jokes out of Brian, but I think I gotta give this one to Bob.
Yeah.
So right now it's a 3-way tie.
Wow, that's a lot.
Brian,
but-
I think I'm going to take this.
I think if we could hear some more jokes, we might be able to pick a winner.
I'm glad I have 12 more.
Do you actually?
No.
Oh. All right, Brian, hit us with those extra jokes.
See if you can
Do you
make
want
a...
the extra jokes for Pornhub or furries or...
Damn, he does so much more work than we do.
Let's hear him for this most recent story since it's in everyone's minds.
Okay, I hope for Pornhub's annual April's Fool Days prank, they add subtitles to every video, but it's all the same stuff, and it's like, give me that dick, you deaf fuck.
Oh my god! That was worse than Ricky Storbo's joke.
This was a mistake. We should just go ahead and... Let's go ahead and...
He's got a point though, because if you're gonna cater the closed captioning to the deaf community, like pump them up.
Yeah.
Give me that dick,
Yeah.
you deaf fuck.
Oh my god, you guys!
I'm glad I didn't do that one.
We
in
don't
regular
caption
time.
our videos. I just realized.
Dude, we're gonna get sued.
It is auto-generated if we like, so...
Uh-oh.
Do
Hopefully
it.
hopefully it'll come out okay.
I am very curious to see what.
should-
I just press closed captioning and then it automatically.
I think there
pops.
should be like an auto-generated text function.
I'm
We should
so
do
curious.
an episode where we recreate the episode where we just read what the auto-generated thing says.
That's funny.
Brian, do you have any more? I'm afraid to ask.
I
but-
do have... Yeah, I have 2 more. I like how he gave a list of the titles that he wanted captioned, and 2/3 of them have talk in them. This guy's real fantasy is wanting to hear again.
Oh.
That's why we save him for overtime.
Yeah, I like that one.
Brian, you are taking us on a ride right now.
And then the last one is he's going to use the caption for 2 minutes and then mute it like the rest of us do.
That's really funny. Okay, so I got to pick a final winner, and I'm going back over my notes for the whole episode. And regardless of those last super offensive jokes by Brian, I am seeing that Brian had a winning joke in every round. So I'm going to give it to Brian.
Oh, that's so exciting.
No one else did that. No
Thank
one
you.
else had a contender in every single round except for Brian. So there you go.
Can you check for
Brian.
me again?
Jeremy, I didn't even write down your jokes in the last round, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make some cuts on this show. Well, congratulations, Brian.
Thank you. Yeah, this was real fun. It's nice it's nice to win something. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I wish we had some kind of award for you.
You know what? I think your adoration will do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take that.
You don't have that. I'm sorry.
Ah, damn it. God damn it.
We're going to get into plugs, of course, but before we do that, we're going to head to Carly Kastner, see if she has any burning questions.
Okay, I'm going to take it back to the Disneyland story, but it's not going to be about Disneyland. Don't worry.
Okay.
This is about strength. Okay, so there's two versions of the question. You can answer both or just one. Have you ever had a feat of strength where you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I just lifted that or did that? And if you could like lift something realistically, what would you like try to use your strength for?
One time I was for work, I was making a delivery to some place that was, it was a warehouse. They were building like a steel stud wall structure, like maybe office spaces. So they had a long, maybe like 100-foot, maybe more, 10, 12-foot wall going up. And there's a crew of like 3 guys working on it. All of a sudden you hear, whoa, whoa, whoa. This whole wall with drywall, steel studs, everything goes down. And I saw them running and I only see 2 still out. So like I run over there to see what they can do. And these 2 guys are lifting up the wall. And so I crawl underneath and drag a guy out, like a guy like heavier than me. I don't weigh that much, but, and it was just adrenaline. I dragged him out, and then they called the paramedics and stuff. But at looking back, I was like, wow, I like dragged this dude out.
And then you woke up in a field and your clothes were torn, right? And you're just like, what the fuck happened?
That is an incredible story. Honestly, I was waiting to get to my turn so I could lie and tell a story just like that. And it's like, no, we're good. That's ridiculous. Damn.
One time when I was like 13, my dad was tickling my brother on the ground, and I went up. I don't know what came over me, but I just went and grabbed my dad and threw him over my head.
No!
A full-size
sorry.
man.
I can't
ran
imagine
and picked him up. No, swear to God. My mom was like, oh, ah! I picked him up and just threw him over my
You
head.
were drunk. You don't
And
know
he's
what
still
happened.
10 feet behind me.
He's still in the air.
He put a hole through the wall like the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, the Kool-Aid man just grabs an innocent bystander, tosses him through the wall. I think the thing that came to my mind is not strength related, but it was like speed related. My grandpa was changing a light bulb and he was like standing on the dining table and he like just started stepping down like onto the chair.
Yeah, we know where this is going.
And like his foot just slipped off and I covered like 20 feet in a split second.
Wow.
And like,
cat-like reflexes.
yeah. And I was like, holy shit. Like all of a sudden, like I had my like hand on him, like keeping him from falling back. And I was like, you're welcome, motherfucker.
Yeah. And then,
Go ahead.
and then Ricky came up and tossed your grandpa 10 feet.
And I was like, Rick, come on, I saved him.
We're just talking heroic feats.
I mean, I got tons of those.
My girlfriend's son was choking, and I just
my God.
I reached down his throat and pulled it out.
Wow.
Oh, you didn't chuck him behind you and
No.
then it just came out when he tumbled?
You reached down his throat and pulled it out like just like finger chopstick style. You're just
Yeah,
That's what you're
exactly.
supposed to do for little kids.
Really?
They're too little to have the Heimlich maneuver done. So, because I've had lots of first aid training,
Sure.
because I work with children, and if they're young, you literally like in the video, it looks so stupid because it looks like there's no way that would work, but you're literally supposed to go like that.
It's just fun. The idea is like, no, they're too small. Don't give them a Heimlich. Just put your hand down their throat.
Right. But you can't really give a baby a Heimlich. In fact, if you give a baby CPR, you're only supposed to use 2 fingers like this. I'm sorry. Don't.
What?
No, one hand.
Just two fingers.
You hold their head back. Rick, it's a baby.
It's a baby.
And then you chuck them behind you. Brian, if you don't have a feat of strength, you can talk about what you would want to do if you were strong.
Okay, I don't have a feat of strength that I personally have done, though, and I don't even think this would be considered a feat of strength. I just need to tell somebody this story. Is that okay?
Just one person?
Should we stop recording?
No. This is
Are
great.
you okay?
I'm fine. Because I was thinking this because I also used to work with kids and I had no idea about CPR because I got online training and it does nothing, but that has nothing to do with the
Trump
story.
University.
One day we had like a farm animal, like a bunch of like baby animals came and visited the preschool that I worked at. And I turned around just in time to see like one of the tiny little narcissistic girls run over to a baby goat, grab it by the back and throw it into the air.
It was Rick.
It was Rick. Yeah, it was.
I did that little girl.
It did a full front flip and landed on its feet, and she was cackling, and I was like, no! But on the inside, I was like, that was fucking dope!
That's amazing.
World star.
It's like nobody says no to me. He just starts cracking me up.
You know, I think that I am pretty strong, especially for someone of my size
Let's
and
wrestle.
gender.
You
played football for 3 hours today.
Yes, I do play sports, but I also like lift a lot of weights, so my shoulder muscles are pretty strong. And I'll like lift things at work, like literally full boxes of supplies and put them like over cabinets and stuff. And after I do it, I'm like, damn, I'm pretty buff.
I will say, like I wouldn't say it's like I'm especially strong, but I am surprised by how weak some people are.
Yeah.
Like some people would just be like, "Oh my god!" It's it's a box of paper, just.
But no matter how strong I get, I can never open the damn jar. What are they doing to that jar? It is, I will say, sometimes it's not about your strength. It's like some things are just too awkward to manage and lift.
Yeah.
So you need
Like that pickle jar. Just
like
like,
the jar.
how do I
How am I
even-
supposed to?
That's that Braille option on the porn.
There's porn on the side of the pickle jar.
How am I supposed to open this when I'm so distracted?
I'm so turned on.
The horny man says, "Yeah, it's my Vlasic."
That's the sexiest thing I've ever heard.
I think that's a pretty bad technique for oral pleasure, though.
This is how you give a blowjob to a pickle.
All right. Brian, go ahead and tell the people where you're going to be, where you are online, so they could follow you, like your stuff, etc.
Cool. I am Brian J. Kearley on Facebook and Instagram. Brian Kearley was taken by my father, that son of a bitch.
Your dad
Your grandma?
took an Instagram name so you couldn't have it? Meaning your dad had Instagram before you?
Yeah, well, my Instagram used to be Cryin' Beardley, and then I wanted to change it to Brian Kearley, but my dad had since like gotten one, so I had to drop the J. I think my dad did have a Facebook before me though. Yeah, so he like snagged that one pretty hard.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad he's a playboy. I don't know.
He's on top of it.
He's on top of it. So
Back when it was the Facebook.
even when it was the Facebook. Yeah, so if you see like an older Brian Kearley, that's my dad. Don't add him. Or do. He might appreciate it.
I mean, it sounds like they should because he's the trailblazer
Yeah.
to kind of pave the way for you.
Dude, one time you guys remember Catalina's, like the bar show downtown?
Yes.
It was like 16, not downtown, but 16th Street Indian School. I headlined it there one day on a weekend, and they put my name on the marquee. Our name on the marquee, and my dad took a picture of it, and he like posted a picture of me and him in front of it, and he said, "Not me, the other one." And I was like, "Fuck you, man! I'm the headliner."
In this house.
Other than that, I am a producer for Big Pine Comedy Festival, which you guys have done at least 1 year, right? I think was it just this last year?
The year
Or
before.
the year before.
I think.
They all blur together for me, so I'm sorry. So check that out. Cactus Comedy Classic is another festival I produce that's going to be at the end of April or the end of April into May over at Westgate at Stir Crazy Comedy Club.
Cool, very cool.
So check that out and check out Broken Drift Productions. That's my production team here in Arizona.
Who's like the person to see at Big Pine?
Who's the person to see at Big Pine this
Or
year?
the group to see?
This year, we don't have it booked out yet. But we are working on. Last year, we had Jim Brewer come through as he headlined the college, and that was that was great. That was a pretty big name.
Speaking of goats.
Greatest of all time.
And I looked at Jim Brewer and I threw him over my head. He tumbled, landed on his feet, and that's why he's the greatest.
Yeah. I'd say he's the more impressive one in that scenario.
Now, had he not landed at his feet, I could have dragged him probably 12 feet.
It's the adrenaline.
Yeah.
It'll do that. And that's it for me. So I really thank you guys so much for having me out. I had a blast. It was a good
great.
time.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, we
You were
really
great.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're online, of course. You can find us on YouTube, as you're watching right now. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere that you find podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we would really appreciate if you gave us some likes, subscribed, give us some suggestions for stories like our good friend Scott Gregg. All that stuff really helps us out. So
And share the show. Tell your friends about it.
share the show.
Yeah.
And we just got done doing a live show at Chiba Hut, and it went so well. We're going to do it on a monthly basis now.
A monthly basis.
Nice.
At Chiba Hut.
And it's that kind of comedy that you can see every month live in Mesa, Arizona at Chiba Hut every third Friday. So be sure
fun.
to check us out 8 p.m. every third Friday at Chiba Hut. It's going to be a good time.
Or second Friday. Has it been determined? Is it third Friday? For sure.
Could be
Are
the
we
fourth
gonna- are we
Friday.
Third
gonna
Friday
have this-
till otherwise noted.
I have a feeling you will still get busy on second Fridays. So
No, I'll keep my calendar open if we know now.
you motherfucker. If you can just keep your schedule open, then do it on any
I
time.
have a job that requires me to work on Friday nights, but I have the second Friday open.
Carly's a prostitute.
Oh, only Friday nights? Good for you.
It's the good night. It's when all the good tips come in. People are getting pumped for the weekend.
What am I going to be, a judge?
All right, TBD then on when this monthly show happens, but you can always just check us out on Twitter or Facebook and we'll let you know. And that should do it for the show.
All right. I'm Jeremy Martinez.
I'm Ricardo Leon.
I'm Bob Timmons.
I'm Carly Kastner.
I'm Brian Kearley.
This has been another episode of 1, 2, 3
Jokes! Aaron, we gotta
I
have you
love you,
back
Aaron. All right.
because you're a man.
Time to make tamales.
We got jars that need opening.